Well, hey everybody, welcome to another episode of The Tonight Show. You guys are in for a tremendous treat. We are actually going to have a couple of our student leaders. You see them every Wednesday up on stage leading us in worship. We're going to interview them just a little bit later in the episode. But for right now, we're going to start this thing off the way that we do every single episode, and that is with some memes. We have some that are coming back related to Corona and things like that, and so here we have a couple of aliens playing on the park swing saying, "Are we up yet?" Nope, they're trying the Corona thing again, right? So yeah, we definitely have all of that stuff going on right now. Here's one. It says, "I just picked up my social distance support animal and it is a skunk." So hopefully that'll help keep social distancing people all away from you during that time. This one is a picture of somebody making a funny face saying what I'm actually doing underneath my mask. Masks are a very big thing, encouraging people to wear them. And so, but you know, the one thing about it, you never see what they're doing underneath the mask. And so that is one there. Here we have one of somebody getting grounded from their phone. It says, "So my friend got her phone taken away and her dad slid this under her door." And it is a screenshot of him handwriting a instant message or a text message to his daughter, and it says, "Hi daughter, hope you are behaving yourself. I love you." And then it's a heart, and then he says, "Why are you not answering me? Oh wait," and then the laughing emoji. So dad just totally went savage on his daughter right there in that moment. And then just a couple more here. We have one from a water bottle saying, "That's a foot," and then we have "That's a knee." That's right there. And then lastly, school is getting ready to start back up. And so we have this young man, when you have a test in 2 hours and you have not studied yet, we know this is how many of you guys are doing this, believing for in that moment that you're going to do good on your test. And so you see him right there just trying to absorb all the information in that time. But we hope you guys enjoyed those. At this time though, we're going to send it over to Katy for Katy's content. So be sure and check it out.
Well, hey everyone, this week we want to encourage you to read in the book of 1 John, 2 John, and 3 John. They're little books towards the end of the New Testament, and they're written by John, and they're encouraging believers in the certainty of their faith. And then also he writes to them about what it looks like to live in the true light. How do you live your life walking in God? And then lastly, he encourages you just to use love and discernment when listening to other people who are sharing about Christ and preaching about him, and how to know what is truth and what is false. And so we encourage you this week, go read 1st, 2nd, and 3rd John.
All right, well, you guys are in for a very special treat tonight. We have two of our very own worship leaders here with us. So I'm going to let them introduce themselves. So we're going to start here. Tell everybody who you are and a little bit about yourself.
I'm Emily, and I have been leading here at Students for about 4 years, 5-ish. I just turned 17, and I've been going to Cedar Point since I was a youngin'.
A youngin'?
A youngin'.
Yeah. Your grandpa helped start the church.
He's an elder.
Yeah, he's an elder here. That's right. And you're obviously a fan of Star Wars?
Very.
Very big so. Okay. And over here, who do we have?
I'm Haley. I've been singing here. I started a week after Emily, so about the same. I just turned 16, and I'll be a sophomore at Claremore High School.
Awesome. So you guys are both zebras. And are you guys excited for school to start?
I mean,
I don't know.
I don't know?
I don't really care.
You don't really care?
I don't want to wear masks to school.
I'm just confused on how it's going to happen, because I know we're not going to have pep assemblies, and that's a big thing for dance.
That's going to be so boring.
It's just, yeah, there's a lot of things that are funky.
A lot of things that are up in the air for sure, right? But anyway, so I want to introduce tonight's topic. And so tonight we're going to talk about serving. And I specifically wanted to have these two on the show because these two right here serve more than anybody I know. They are serving on Sundays, on Mondays, on Wednesdays. We have special events, like they're dressing up as not Halloween characters, but as Christmas characters. Yeah. I mean, and so they are here all the time helping serve in any way possible. And so Your main role that you both serve in, though, is worship and singing. And so with that, let's start by talking about just your journey and basically from where you started to where you are now, because obviously when both of you started, you didn't start off serving in the way that you currently are. You started somewhere and just worked your way up. And so if you would, Emily, why don't you share a little bit about kind of how you started serving here at the church and how that's progressed to where you are now.
All right. I started out, I actually went to a different church when I was younger. And then I started spending the night with my grandpa, and then I would come here just because I felt better here. And I've just been called to come to Cedar Point since I was very little. And I started in Kids Life and just seeing Jaden and Abe, and then Jake and Ashley up there going at it. It was awesome. I just really liked seeing what they were doing, and even though I was little, I didn't understand like the impact that it was having on me. I didn't understand that that's what it was, but I wanted to do that. But I didn't know how, because I didn't want to be on stage, didn't want to dance, didn't want to sing, nothing. So I started out with talking to Ashley about like, is there like anything I can do? Like I'll clean. I don't know. I don't know. So she put me behind the computer in the sound booth, like that little corner that the Kids Life room used to have.
Yeah.
And all I did was hit a space bar, and that was great for me. And then I moved on to going into like the kitchen area, just to see if that area would help better. So I helped fill up water, basically it, because I was little, didn't have any strengths.
You got trusted first with a button, and then you got trusted with a 5-gallon.
With a bottle.
With a bottle, exactly. But you started somewhere. Okay.
So I went from there, and then Jake and Ashley have had like the biggest impact on my life in serving and just like in my life in general. Ashley helped me get the foothold that I have, and really know that serving was my passion. And so I'm really thankful for her for that. And then Jake, seeing him play the guitar, back in Kids Life, they would invite kids up to dance, just like randomly, whether they knew the dance or not. And I was one of those kids one day. And I remember dancing, and I was like, this is awesome. I want to do this a lot. So then I became a dancer. And then I started singing, like not with a microphone, but just in general. And then it was me, Jaden, and Abe. And we became like the main leaders. And then, of course, Jake went to lead in the adult service, and Ashley was there with Aaron, kind of switching off. So, of course, she helped a ton in that area, and then so did Jake. And Jake came in.
And he heard you singing, right?
Yeah, about midway through my journey in Kids Life, and was like, I see something in her. Don't know how, because had that little voice.
Went from a space bar.
Went from a space bar to. Pretty sure my mic was off most of the time.
But Jake saw something in you, and then from there, what happened?
From there, he asked if I would try out for the worship team. He asked a couple of times, and I kept telling him no, because I did not want to. I was not interested in it, honestly. Driven scared me, because going from a 5th grader to high school is terrifying. So I was scared of it, didn't want to be in it. And then finally he had me sing Everbee that was my first song that I tried out with and then sang, and it was terrible, absolutely awful. I have the video, so bad. I don't think it was that bad.
I don't think it was that bad.
I don't think it was that bad.
I thought it was.
Anyway.
But obviously he saw something in me, he believed in me, and was like, I want to see where she can go. So it started to coming in 30 minutes before service and singing with me in the preschool room. That was about it. It was just us with a guitar, doing some weird voice things, yawning at a wall.
I remember that. Kumbaya in the preschool room, huh? There we go. Awesome.
So there's that. And then, of course, my biggest was mostly in kids life. I did a ton in kids life. I was kind of the main leader there besides like the adults.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of took over worship, that was my area. I would go to the events and dress up as superhero characters.
You name it.
Anything, I would do it.
Cindy Lou Who.
Cindy Lou Who.
What, Jovi?
Jovi.
From Elf.
That was good. Yeah. So there's that. And then of course I got, from being little and then growing up serving, really helped with the big place that I have now.
Yeah.
So I've moved on to doing all the just random events that we have. So like the Gift of Christmas, that's a huge one in my life. I love that one.
And then a whole bunch of stuff.
Christmas Spectacular, Halloween, all that. I love it. And then I moved into adult service one day, and Jake really liked me there, and he thought that I could grow up there, and that was just a bigger opportunity in kids' life at the time for me. And so I ended up leaving kids' life and moving into adults kind of permanently.
As you've gotten older.
As I've gotten older.
All that stuff.
And
but what I love about all that is you started somewhere small,
mm-hmm.
and then you just started serving someone with a space bar, a water bottle, and then from there, you've started to almost kind of discover where your gifts were, where your talents were, and then other people saw that gift of talent in you, and they began to just kind of pull on it a little bit more, and you've developed over time, and you started off in a place that maybe wasn't seen by a whole bunch of people, and now, because of your faithfulness in that area, now you're being seen every Wednesday, Sundays, things to that effect, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's just a really cool story about how your journey started off with something small and just being willing and available to where you are today, right? So with you, it may not be the same story that Emily has, but why don't you share your story just for a little bit?
So my story is I wasn't actually going to church at all whenever I started coming here. The Larges invited me to come on a Wednesday, and I was sitting outside and I met Katy for the first time. She was the first person I talked to, and then I remember watching worship and just seeing Jake play, and I loved the worship. That's the main reason why I came on Wednesdays.
Wasn't the preaching?
No,
Oh,
I'm sorry, but it was the worship.
Darn.
And then the Larges invited me to come on a Sunday, and they were helping out in kids' life at the time, so I didn't want to go sit in service by myself, so I went and helped in kids' life. And of course I saw Emily singing and dancing. I've always wanted to do everything that Emily does.
Huh.
Like I like to copy everything Emily does.
It's a little stalker.
I know, okay, that's not what I meant, but like, anything I see Emily do, I'm like, I can only do that. So I saw Emily. I saw Emily singing and dancing, so I've known Emily for a very long time.
Yeah.
I saw her singing and dancing, I was like, hey, I want to do that too. So I started coming every Sunday as well, and singing and dancing in kids' life.
Yeah.
And I was like Emily's like shadow, pretty much. Followed Emily around, did everything Emily did.
Keep sounding creepier.
Every step I took, she was there.
She was in your shadow and all that
Took a water bottle.
stuff.
Stole a water bottle.
She was helping press the space bar. She was drinking the
Oh my
water.
gosh.
She's like the hype man. I hit the space bar, she cleans it every time I touch it.
That's not true.
Okay, so anyways.
Um,
So your story was the same as Emily. No, I'm just kidding.
No, not at all. And then I used to go to church on Wednesdays every night with the Larges, and one night Mandy Large heard me singing in her car, and she's like, hey, you should try out for the students' worship team. And I was like, yeah, that actually does sound kind of fun. Like, I've seen Jake do it, and I was like, that'd be great. So I tried out with Holy Spirit. It sounded like the worst thing ever, just like Emily said. And then I started.
This is my song like that. I didn't say yours was bad.
I so
Still
politely
words in my
said,
mouth.
I didn't put words in your mouth. Anyways, so I started singing on Wednesdays, and then Jake helped me so much. He would pull me. I'd come 30 minutes before service, and we'd go sit in the preschool room and yawn at the walls and stuff. These really weird, like, warm-up exercises.
Yeah.
It was really weird.
But I mean, it worked.
But it
did.
worked,
It did
right?
work.
Because
It
now
helped
you
in the
both
end.
are incredible
And I still
singers.
yawn at a wall.
We still yawn at walls. Yes, we do.
Y'all are laughing about that. I've actually asked Jake for some lessons too on stuff.
For, like,
Not to
talking?
sing, but just to talk and communicate, like breathing exercises. So,
You can become like
Jake, you're the man.
Yes.
I love you. I hope
love
that
Jake.
these two love you as
Jake.
well. So let's kind of shift real quickly because, I mean, it sounds like you guys both had this passion for singing. And through that, Jake obviously saw something in you. He saw a gift in each one of you. And I realize that there are people watching who because you're like me, that singing is not your gift. There are definitely things like you don't want to hear me sing. Please. I don't want to hear me sing. And so with all that, like, I realize that there are different things that I'm gifted in. And I think that's something that's important for people to realize is that just because your gifts are different than Haley and Emily's doesn't mean that God doesn't have something that He has specifically designed you for. Because I'm pretty sure that there are things that you guys would both say, like, that is not my area
Oh, like
of
she's a
strength.
dancer? I cannot dance to save my life. I am such a bad dancer.
Yeah, I'm never mind. Anyway, Romans chapter 12 has something that says something interesting in verses 6 through 8. And it says, in His grace, God has given us different gifts for doing certain things well. So if God has given you the ability to prophesy, speak out with as much faith as God has given you. If your gift is serving others, serve them well. If you are a teacher, teach well. If your gift is to encourage others, be encouraging. If it is giving, give generously. If God has given you leadership ability, take the responsibility seriously. And if you have a gift for showing kindness to others, do it gladly. And so what I want to point out to you guys that are watching this is that God has given each one of us gifts to do things differently, but to do them well. And so for me, I'm a highly organized person, and so organizing things is something that I'm just good at. And you said, that's not you. And it's not you. And I haven't seen your trunk, but I've seen your seat.
My trunk
and
has nothing in it.
It gets kind of unorganized. But so for me, there are certain things that
I say Emily lives in her truck. Anything you need is in her truck.
Because of that would drive me nuts. But there are certain things that I'm gifted to do, just like communication and speaking. That's something I feel like God has gifted me to do, to put together messages to encourage and uplift people and point and direct them to Jesus. Just like He's gifted each one of you to sing and point and direct people to Jesus. And so I just want to encourage those of you that are watching, you might be struggling to figure out okay, what are my gifts? I want you just to step back and take a moment to reflect on, okay, what are the things that you're passionate about? Obviously, both of you had a passion about singing. But then two, what are the things that maybe people are coming to you and saying, you know what, I see something in you in this area. And you might think you're terrible at it, but yet they're saying, no, there's a gift there. Just like both of these young ladies thought that their voices and their singing was terrible. There was that person like Jake that was there saying, hey, you know what? I see something in you and I want to help develop that. And I think that's a pretty good indicator to see what it is. Maybe it's just listening to people and encouraging them. If you're that person that everybody can always come and talk to, I think maybe that's an area that you need to begin to say, okay, obviously I have a gift for this, so I want to help develop that and begin to talk to other people about how you can develop that, because God has given each one of us a gift to make a difference in this world and to make a difference. If it's teaching, teach people well. This is what the verse says. If it's prophesying, then speak out with as much faith. If it's serving others, serve them well in whatever that is. If it's to encourage, be encouraging. We all know the world needs a lot more encouragement. And so if that's your gift, I want to encourage you to do that. And so I want to encourage you guys, find that gift, find that area that you're passionate about, that people see that gift in you. And if you haven't discovered that yet, then keep asking God to reveal that to you, because I think He'll do that. And the most important thing that I think anybody can do is just start serving somewhere, whether it's pressing a space bar or filling up a water bottle. No matter what it is, just start somewhere. And I think through that, you'll have people that you'll encounter that'll help point and direct you to where that area is, and they'll help you discover that area that you're passionate about. Wouldn't you agree?
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. It started somewhere, right? It started pushing that button. It started with you just, hey, I just want to help, make a difference in a young person's life, and an elementary age kid. That's where it all starts, just starting somewhere. So now I want to ask you guys a question. Why is it that, so obviously you guys both have a relationship with Jesus, because if you didn't, I think you know, you may not be in this position. But so what is it about serving and your relationship with God that causes you to do that?
Do you want to go first?
Go, Haley.
I don't know. I like helping. I like helping people, I guess.
Yeah.
I like to see smiles on people's faces. Like whenever we would do Super Kids, just like to see like the smiles on the parents' faces that their kids were having fun doing things that they normally don't get to do. Or like with the Christmas Spectacular, or is it this Christmas Spectacular or the one? What's the one that they help on Christmas Eve or Christmas Day? We hand out presents.
Gift of Christmas.
That's
Gift of
Gift of
Christmas.
Christmas.
Yes, like seeing like the kids that don't normally get a whole lot of presents, them get some, and knowing
That's
that
really
like
good.
I helped in that. I helped with
Right.
that, and it makes me feel good to serve, and I know it makes others happy to see a
Absolutely.
young person serving.
Absolutely. What about you, Emma?
To me, it's definitely not like, it's definitely a feeling. Like, I've never been just like, I want to do that. Like, just because it's like, seems fun. It's definitely like, you're called. And you may not feel that you're called, but if you press a space bar, you can move on to so much bigger things.
Right.
And I just loved, the biggest thing is, of course, right now I do students and adult services the most. And it's my absolute favorite when adults come up to me after service and they're like, wow, you like really moved and changed in my life.
It's such a good feeling.
That's why I do it. I don't do it for just because I want to sing and I want to hear myself. I don't do it because just the song is fun. I could care less what song I get. I could care less how I sound like. If my voice cracks, it's not the end of the world. Just as long as I can move in someone's life.
I care about that because every time I do it, it seems like I'm in a room full of teenagers and then I get made fun of afterwards.
Just as long as I can move in someone's life, I don't care how I sound or what song I'm singing. Just I want to be able to put an impact in someone's life.
Make a difference in somebody's life because I think that's what we've all been entrusted to. So I asked you guys to bring a couple of verses. So I want you guys to share your verse right now. So Emily, why don't you share your verse for us, and then we'll bounce over to Haley after that. But so share that verse with us.
All right. So this verse is Peter 5:2. Care for the flock that God has entrusted you. Sorry. This is Peter 5:2. Care for the flock that God has entrusted to you. Watch over it willingly, not grudgingly. For what you... I can't read. I'm dyslexic.
Should not have asked you to do that. I feel bad now. Okay.
Yeah, I can't read. You know.
Can you read it?
No, I'm good. Let me give me another chance.
Okay.
Okay, I can't read that word. What's grudgingly? Is it grudgingly?
Grudgingly. Yes.
Okay, cool.
You're good.
Peter 5:2 says, care for the flock that God has entrusted to you. Watch over it willingly, not grudgingly. Not for what you will get out of it, but because you are eager to serve God.
Right. So part of you, and like what you were just talking about there with leading people in worship, is not about you. It's just realizing, you know what, God's called me to make a difference in people's lives. And right now, because you've been called to Cedar Point, this is what you want to do, is you want to help care for the flock by using your gifts to serve. And so I love that about just that verse and your heart behind it. Haley, what about you? You've got a verse for us kind of talking about why you also...
My verse is Psalms 104:33. And it says, I will sing to the Lord as long as I live. I will praise my God to my last breath. And every time I get on stage, I think of this verse that I'm up there for God. I'm up there because He gave me this gift, the ability to sing, and that I need to use it pretty much.
Right. And I think that's so important that both of you guys brought this perspective of, okay, I'm here because God He wants me to use this gift, but the most important thing is it's not about me, but it's about reaching other people. And I think that follows the example that Jesus left for us. Actually, in Matthew chapter 20, verse 28, it says this, for even the Son of Man came not to be served, but to serve others and to give His life as a ransom for many. And so a lot of people wonder why Jesus came, and He came to give His life as a ransom for many, but also He came to serve other people. And I love your guys' hearts behind that. And I think that's a something that we all need to keep in mind, that when we're serving, is that we're serving not for our benefit, not for ourselves, but we're serving to make a difference in other people's lives with the gifts that God has given to us, but also to follow in his example, right? And so I think that's huge. All right. Well, any final thoughts that either one of you have?
I just want to say, like, if you think you have a gift to do something, like, don't hold back on that, because when I first came and I started singing in Kids Life, I would see Jake sing on Sundays, and I'm like, there's no way I'll ever be able to do that. And then I saw Emily do it, and I was like, okay, you know, me being her shadow, I want to do that. So then I got to singing on Sundays, and just, if you think you have a gift, don't hold back on it, just
go for it.
go for it, yeah.
Press that space bar with everything you've got.
Someone will come
like
your way
it.
and see your gift, and they will definitely put you to work.
I like
And
it.
then
What about
on
you?
that, don't give up if the first thing you try isn't for you. Because I've gone
So
through
key.
everything.
Definitely.
I have went
Preach.
from pressing a space bar to the kitchen to fill up water bottles to I did the nursery for a little bit. Childcare wasn't for me.
I did the nursery because you did the
Preschool
nursery, and it was
ministry.
horrible.
I
Preschool
hated
ministries.
I'm not good with kids.
the sound booth in the main adult
Oh, yeah.
sanctuary. I pressed one button and that was it. And I was like,
This isn't for me.
no.
I don't want to be back.
I was like, I want to learn.
I'm only used to space bars. I can't hit enter. No, I'm just kidding.
So
No, I think that's really good. Just making sure that it's, you know, if you get told no, don't allow your heart to get soured by
yeah.
that. Like,
definitely keep trying. Keep going
trying.
for it.
That-
You'll find what you're
I
looking
think
for.
we've both had our, like, failing moments, for sure. And we've gotten
rejected. We
we've
failed.
gotten rejected, and we failed, and
But
we've
we
messed up.
We
but
found where we're supposed to be.
Yeah.
You guys have found
Most
it,
definitely.
right? It took all those things to get you to this point, right?
Yep.
Good. Well, I think that is definitely some huge pieces of advice and wisdom that we hope all of you guys will take to heart. Be praying about areas that you can serve in, and just we want to encourage you to follow after that. And if you have been discouraged, maybe somebody did tell you no or something like that, don't allow that to keep you from moving forward. Keep moving forward, because we're here for you, and we want to help you to discover your gifts, and we want to see you serving in the church wherever that might be. On that note, though, as you guys know, we end every episode with Mike's Wheel of Misfortune. Haley and Emily both have already done Mike's Wheel of Misfortune, so we're going to take a look back at when they did their little misfortunes, as well as our loser from last week. And so let's check this out.
Oh, that's hot.
Yeah. That's a lot, Haley. Okay, that's good. No, that's literally so much. Can I go on off?
No.
Please?
Ow.
Did it actually hurt?
Yes. This one hurt more.
Wait, let me see.
That hurt. Okay, I'm doing the ice bath challenge. I don't want to do any of the others, and I feel like this will be really easy. We're gonna do the three.
Hey guys, so last week on Cedar Point Students on Mike's Wheel of Misfortune, I got the challenge Mix It Up, and I'm really not excited about it, but in this, let me see if you can see it, this is what it looks like. It is a raw egg, pickle juice, and grape juice mixed together. It's like brown, with like stringy yolk in it, and it's honestly the nastiest thing I've ever seen. But let's give it a try. My brother's watching me.
What does it taste like?
It just tastes like really strong pickle juice, but I got egg yolk in my mouth. So, don't mix eggs, pickles, and grape juice because it's gross.
Well, thank you all so much for tuning in and watching this show. Right now, though, I'm going to let Emily and Haley make you aware of a huge announcement.
We're coming back to Wednesday services.
August 12th.
Be there!
7 p.m. Wednesday night, August 12th. We'll be having live services again Wednesday night at the church. We'll see you guys then. Bye, everyone.